Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the St. Paul Winter Carnival Grande Parade. The St. Paul, thanks for watching St. Paul Neighborhood Network today. My name is Tom Lasalle. I was the 2009 and 2012 Commodore for the Aquatennial. That's right, the Aquatennial. Aquatennial and Winter Carnival do quite a bit together. We'll tell you a little bit more about that. And today with me,
I'm Brent Lasalle. I'm his son. I was the 2011-2012 Aquatennial captain. We got to know these Winter Carnival folks, and they invited us across the river to talk to you guys today.
actually we were given a 3-day visa, so we'll be here for tomorrow and the next day as well. So it's great to be here. We do a lot of work with St. Paul and with Minneapolis together. But today we're here to celebrate the coolest celebration on earth, the St. Paul Winter Carnival. The parade has started. It'll be here with us in about, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Brent, some of this goes back even farther than me. This is the 127th year of the St. Paul Winter Carnival. It's an interesting story how the Winter Carnival got started. Back in 1886, St. Paul was one of the fastest growing cities in the nation. It was the third largest rail center in America. And because of that, a New York reporter took the train out to St. Paul, went back and wrote an article in which he described the city as another Siberia, unfit for human habitation in winter. Well, we know that's not true. When you look around today, we got a lot of folks out here with us. And now we're going to celebrate and show how fit it is. So at that point, the citizens of St. Paul, the leaders got together and decided they were going to make a showing of it. So what they did is they put together the Winter Carnival, patterned after Montreal's Winter Carnival. They included in that first, there were parades, skiing, snowshoeing. There was a blanket toss contest, which you'll see still goes on today. They had an ice castle and 6 large toboggan slides. In fact, when I was a kid, they used to have the toboggan slides up by the Capitol, and you could go slide on them. I think the insurance prohibits that today.
There's a lot of great events going on here today, and we can see lots and lots of people out. It's a balmy 20 degrees here, according to my phone, and that's a lovely January day here in Minnesota. We are stationed right between the Landmark Center and Rice Park. Behind us in the Landmark Pavilion is the Wells Fargo Free Skate, so grab your kids and come on down to enjoy some skating. It really is not bad weather-wise. For $2, they'll rent you a pair of skates. Rice Park, across the street from us, is absolutely loaded with lots of great events. The opportunity to buy some cheese curds and some hot dogs to keep you warm.
Foot-long corn dogs.
Foot-long corn dogs, yeah. That's health food all the way. Also, you'll find the ice sculptures in there, and a lot of great events. We've got a lot of great events coming up. A lot of great events coming up in the next few days. Tonight, the big excitement tonight is the crashed ice, which is taking place up near the cathedral. And we both are excited to go see that. I'm curious, having driven by it a number of times now, how anyone ever survives doing the crashed ice course.
I think you need to be well padded.
Yeah.
I played hockey till I was 38. It looks like it'd be a lot of fun, but I'm afraid I'd only do it once now.
Yeah.
There'd be no recovery.
I'm not doing it on skates. I'll sit down and slide the course.
I think that happens to many people.
I think so.
And the colder it is, the faster that ice is. So I think the other day they even had some problems. It was too cold and people were having trouble getting it. Part of what you don't see about Winter Carnival are the ambassadors, the royal family. They were the coronation was last night, and we'll be seeing those folks in the parade today and introducing them. One of the great things about St. Paul Winter Carnival is they have a tremendous fraternity group of past winds and past Boreas, queens, and princesses that stay very active in this organization and have been the lifeblood of it. And many of them will be in the parade today, and we'll talk about them as they go by. We talked a little bit earlier about the relationship with the Aquatennial. The Aquatennial started in 1940. Interestingly enough, apparently they weren't granting visas in those days because they got the idea by going to the Winnipeg Festival de Voyageurs and coming back and deciding that they should start something comparable in the summer. And this happened in 1940. It was a tough economy during the war, and they wanted to bring more business to Minneapolis.
Interestingly, the Winnipeg Voyageur will be here today in this parade,
That's right,
is my understanding.
Right.
And if you guys ever get the chance to get up to Winnipeg in February, as cold as that may sound, there are very few things on earth as much fun as the Festival des Voyageurs.
They have a parade where you walk on the river, and it's carrying torches. It's literally a torchlight parade.
Yeah.
It's great fun and well worth doing.
Some of the nicest people on earth.
Can be a little cool.
They say things like, "You're only cold because you're from Minneapolis."
From where? It's from down south. We were from down south. The crowds are building now, Brent. Looks like we're going to have a great turnout. That's one thing great about St. Paul. People don't hesitate to come out. In fact, last year there were more complaints about how warm it was than how cold it was. However, I do want to point out the last thing we announced was the milk carton boat race is in July, and I think it's 75 degrees cooler today than it was then.
Yeah, minimally.
Yeah, but we've been lucky. We've done the parade a couple years, and the weather's been nice. It'd be tough sitting out here if it was 10 below.
Yeah, no, it really is not bad out right now.
When I was Commodore in 09, this parade was below zero and quite cold. Brent was talking about some of these events. The other thing that goes on this week is this is the week that the royal family starts out, and they have a brutal week of activities. If you're around town, you're going to get a chance to see them. You may also get the opportunity to see those gentlemen on that red fire truck dressed up in red, the Vulcan. Vulcan's sworn duty is to overthrow Boreas this week, and if you join us next Saturday evening, if history repeats itself, he will successfily do that.
As it has 120 times, I believe. So sounds like a safe bet.
Coming from the Aquatennial, we root for Vulcan a little bit because he's bringing summer back in. And however, having lived here all my life, it's a false promise in January. Summer's a bit away.
As you come down here, please come on down to downtown St. Paul. There really are a number of really great events going on this week. I happened to just learn about the geocache. I've not familiar with that term in the past, but apparently that's become quite popular nationwide. They're meeting down here in Rice Park, I believe, although let me double check that before I promise you. But it's a treasure hunt that they send you clues on your GPS cell phone or your smartphone, and you engage in a treasure hunt all through downtown St. Paul. And that's a good time.
That's different than the regular treasure hunt. That's been a time-honored tradition where the medallion's hidden, and you look in the paper every day, read the clues, and go out and search for it. It's great fun. As a kid, we used to do that every year. I lived right off Highland Park Golf Course, which was a popular burial site. At least we believed it would be because we could walk there. So without fail, we looked at the golf course year in and year out. Astonishingly, we never found the medallion.
A lot of competition for that. A lot of
there
people
is.
Very, very close attention.
When I was in college, I decided I would do a report for a psych class on the treasure hunt. So in those days, tape recorders were not portable. I went to the university audio department to borrow a tape recorder and went out and interviewed people looking for the treasure. However, I did not account for the fact that it was below zero, and a tape recorder in 1969 or 70 didn't work well at below zero. So it was not a successful interview process. But some interesting comments.
Coming up today still, we have the Winter Carnival Kids Day. That's going to be at the Landmark Center starting in about an hour and a half at 3:30, so bring the kids down for that. And later on tonight at the Doubletree, we have the Klondike Kates big performance. And anybody who's ever been associated in any way with St. Paul Winter Carnival knows how much fun the Kates are.
If you haven't seen that event, it is great fun. The Klondike, they bring back the Kates from I don't know how many years.
At least
I think anyone that comes. And it's almost like watching a competition. They all participate. Great voices.
Yeah. The most charismatic people in the festival.
They're a great part of Carnival. And we had a lot of fun. We got some kids behind us, I think. They're over there. So anyway, people are, the parade's already started. It's moving its way towards us, so we'll be probably seeing some sign of that pretty soon. I see we've got someone out in the street getting ready. The crowd has really picked up around here, Brent. This is great.
Yeah, it's filling in. This is good. Yeah, get down fast so you can get a spot. This is gonna be a lot of fun today.
And we're toward the end of the parade, so there's a lot of people before us that are out there watching the parade. In this parade, you're going to see many other festivals from around the state. The state of Minnesota, there's over 300 festivals in the state of Minnesota every year. Between Winter Carnival and Aquatennial, they probably go to 75 of them and participate in their local events, local parades and coronations. Some of the royalty from those communities will be with us today. You'll get to see their floats. They much like the Winter Carnival, travel around the state and meet with other communities to participate in their events. The Winter Carnival folks, so they don't just hang around the state.
No, they travel from anywhere from, as we mentioned earlier, Winnipeg up in Canada to Bradenton, Florida, to Macon, Georgia, to San Antonio, Texas, and many more, I'm sure. The Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
That's
sometimes.
right. That's right.
They really cover the entire country. It's really a wonderful thing. It's a great time. The people who do this sort of stuff are very committed to community building and really do a great service for the cities that they represent, whether that be Delano, Minnesota, or Pasadena, California. They really are out there working hard and just great people who do this.
The other thing today as you watch this, understand this is a tremendous example of volunteerism in St. Paul and Minnesota. In fact, this country is somewhat unique for volunteerism. Most other countries, these things would all be run by the government and everything would be orchestrated. The hundreds of volunteers are involved in putting on the Winter Carnival. A lot of them work on the Aquatennial and the Winter Carnival. They volunteer. They volunteer on many other things. It's amazing volunteerism and fundraising that takes place to put these on for everyone's enjoyment. So you're going to see today people who are orchestrating the parade, who put it together. Those are all volunteers.
People who put together the tremendous banquet they had last night to bring in the new royalty.
Now, Brent and I charge $50,000 each for this event. However,
we are not generous people.
However, we've never been paid.
It's
true.
It's
a charge, but it's never been paid.
Working on collection.
The collection's a problem. So it's a lot of fun. If you get involved, and I'd encourage any of you to become part of the St. Paul Winter Carnival. The opportunity to volunteer is endless. Once you get into it, they always talk about it as a family, and it really is a family.
And you see people who've been doing this for 40 or 50 years that it's become a big part of their lives. And you look forward to it. It's a lot of fun.
But since I've been doing it, it's been fun to watch all the weddings.
Yeah,
I think I went to 3 or 4 weddings last summer of Winter Carnival and Aquatennial people getting married. You become part of, in fact, they talk about if you've been part of these events that you have 2 families at your wedding. You're the one you're related to and your Winter Carnival family.
Absolutely. It's a ton of fun. Multi-generational and all these things. Young people in their early 20s, people in their 30s and 40s, and people even like you in their 50s and even 60s.
Yeah, like me, even 60s. Speaking of multi-generational, Brent and I were the first father-son Commodore captain in the history of the Aquatennial, so that was fun.
Yeah, and not on the same year. We actually, different families for us, which is a good thing because it grows that Aquatennial family.
But we did do 2012 the week together. So we were together for that special week. We were changing the terms of the Commodores and captains, so I was able to fill in and spend that week with Brent. It was a little discouraging, though, because rather than being the Commodore, everybody referred to me as Brent's dad.
I'm a very popular guy.
Yeah, you certainly were amongst the various communities. You did a great job, Brent. We got a helicopter up there, as somebody must be taking a look at this from the air.
I think the helicopter's the way to view that crashed ice.
Yeah.
It seems like that's the vantage point I want. I wonder if I can talk to that guy. I'll take payment in that.
Good luck. Well, I bet you they're getting close to us now. It's been about 15 minutes since they got started. The crowd, look at this. They're pretty deep in the street, Brent.
Yeah,
There's probably 4 or 5 rows deep of people here to watch the parade. People are bundled up, sitting on the curb with little kids and scarves and hats, blankets. It's great to see.
It is. This is a great sort of parade for the little kids because the Winter Carnival royal family will be coming. Your little girls will get to see real life princesses. The guards are always a lot of fun. They're very good about interacting with the crowd. But I know in Aquatennial, I like to go get the little girls on the side and come introduce them to the princesses, just because it's a lot of fun when you're a 3, 4, 5-year-old girl to get to meet a princess in real life.
Somehow the princesses and the queens were a little more popular than captains and commodores and kings and guards and princes.
Yeah. No, I had to tell the girls as they came to the side, I've come representing the princess.
Yeah.
So you don't have to talk to me.
It's the only way they'd deal with you.
Yeah.
We've got some great hats out here today.
Absolutely.
Not only ours, but we have everything from cats to penguins to...
The panda bear is popular this year. I've seen a couple of pandas.
One of my favorites is the sock puppet. Homer Simpson would be terrified.
That's right. In fact, currently I'm watching a sock puppet on a dad across the street.
I know.
So
in fact, the other years I haven't been over there to see, but you could buy these themed hats over in the park.
Oh, I haven't looked for that.
Yeah, you might be able to do that today if you go take a look. I have a penguin. I went today, though, for the polar look.
The gentleman just walked past in the Packers parka. We'll forgive him. He may have come with the Lacrosse, Wisconsin Oktoberfest Festival, one of the other visiting dignitaries from out of town. So I guess today we'll let a Packers fan into the
But speaking of a great festival to go to, what is that, about a 3-hour drive?
Yeah, and it's a ton of fun. In fact, I'm watching a gentleman walk by in a coat that I recognize as coming from Winnipeg.
Oh wow, yeah. But if you want to go to Oktoberfest in La Crosse, you better get. You might be able to get a hotel reservation now.
Oh yeah. No.
Although I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't.
Yeah,
That's how popular it is.
Yeah, no. La Crosse, Wisconsin, for the 3 or 4 days of that festival, has roughly the same population as St. Paul. So people just flood that town. It's a great town. It's really a college town, and everyone has a really good time. Lots of great events. For that.
And a giant beer garden.
Yes.
Biggest beer garden I've ever seen, and I've been to Germany.
If you enjoy beer, the Oktoberfest is the place to go.
In fact, we've seen beer gardens are popular. They're in San Antonio and Florida and everywhere. Well, somebody's making some noise.
Yeah.
Looks like getting ready. Wow, that's impressive. That's coming from one person.
Yeah, that's actually, they're coming up behind us. Although I see lights up, can't tell what that is, but we may have somebody coming here. It looks like this is a police van.
Well, today's parade is brought to you by Preferred One. They've sponsored this parade before. They're a great supporter of Winter Carnival.
Yeah, it really takes all members of the community and the corporate community to put something like this on. We are really grateful to the sponsors for making this happen.
But the police do a lot of work. You'll see, at all of the crossings, the police and police reserve are out in force. I think some, if not all of them, are volunteers. So come out to make this happen.
It certainly is not lightening their workload.
No. Well, and you can see they're all around. The other thing is we're right next to the St. Paul Hotel, so if you're listening to us and near at you might want to stop in and have probably the best hot chocolate you'll ever find.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. When I was 10, Brent, my friends and I would take the bus down. Things were a little different in 1960. We'd come down by ourselves on the bus. Here's somebody waving to us, getting ready for the parade. About that age, we'd come down to watch the Grande parade on our own. In those days, there was an outdoor skating rink you could go to, much like what we have back here. This is pretty amazing, though, where you can rent skates for $2.
Yeah, no, and skate for free. I mean, really come down and take advantage of this. Plus, you're right in the middle of this beautiful Rice Park area where there's so much going on anyway. Come down and skate for an hour, and then go check out some ice sculptures, and then stop off for the Children's Day. It's a full afternoon, free of charge.
It's a little bit better than Rockefeller Plaza. If you remember when you were a kid, I took you skating in Rockefeller Plaza. I took our granddaughter there, I think the skates were $19 to rent. And
Wells Fargo is...
At this point, I was just interested in making about 2 circles and getting off the ice with her, just to say we did it.
Yep, and we're thankful to Wells Fargo who are sponsoring this program, and we're right behind the Landmark Center and Landmark Plaza, where you can come down and skate for free.
Well, I think there's pony rides back there too. I've heard they were.
I did hear rumors of a pony.
We haven't seen the pony. The pony didn't come over to see us, but I don't blame it.
No. And it's a lot of anticipation building here. We really, any minute now, I would anticipate seeing the first floats of this parade. But we really are fortunate in St. Paul to have such a charming little area to come.
We have some folks here armed with hose. I wonder if they're out treasure hunting today.
Yeah. They do. And a shovel. They looked. They
look serious.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised at the medallions in the St. Paul Hotel, however. But if I was going to hide
that's the only way I'm ever going to find it.
Yeah, that's my only shot at it.
Put it in one of the restaurants. Shot.
Although it's been, it's going to be a great week. The temperature predicted for this week is in the 20s and 30s. Yeah. So it's cold enough to be winter and warm enough to be outside doing anything you want. I've been surprised how wimpy we've become in Minnesota. As everybody talked about this cold wave last week, which was...
we had, 2 days under zero?
2 days below zero, and a lot of days in the 20s. When we were kids, those were considered warm days to go play hockey outside.
Even when I was a kid, you were under zero for January and February.
Well, see, we didn't know what wind chill was, so that helped a lot. And when they invented wind chill, it put a damper on everybody's desire to be outside. Even when it's 20 degrees, they're trying to tell you it's way below zero.
Oh, that's true. Oh.
Well, I don't think we're too far away from that parade catching up to us.
Yep.
I'm really impressed how the crowds have gotten even larger since we've been talking. They're lined up back on the sidewalks, kind of looking over each other's heads just to get a good view.
This is a very good hat that's currently walking toward us here. In fact, these are a pair of good hats, but his does stand out.
One of the problems, you get those, you realize why if you're a fox, you can live outside.
Yeah, no, those are warm. That's a warm hat right there. In fact, those are also, I'm quite confident, for sale in Winnipeg.
Yes. In fact, everybody that goes there seems to want to buy one.
Yeah. You can kind of track where people have been. You start to know what comes from which festival. I wonder how the folks from San Antonio are doing now. This might be really cold for them.
They're very experienced. The Vanjie and David have been here
several times.
More than several. I think their stint was over, but they ended up filling in for somebody and came. But they told us last night they were going to come anyway.
Yeah.
So that's how popular this event is.
This community is addictive. You get involved and you don't want to miss stuff. Your friends are here and everyone's always so kind and having such a good time.
Well, and then if you're familiar with the structure of the Winter Carnival, there are 4 winds and Boreas. So you have past Boreas, which we will see walking through today. Each of the wind organizations will be represented by past winds from there, and they'll be in the parade with their families.
Yeah, each of the winds has a princess, and each Boreas will have a queen. You'll see a lot of past princesses and queens around. People want to come back and get back together. It's a good time.
And then the Vulcans have their own visiting royalty for next weekend. So
yes.
There are groups from other festivals. Some come up this weekend and some come up next weekend. And from the same community, they'll have the people who are more in tune or more related to the Winter Carnival royal family and Boreas, and then you have those that, like Bradenton in Florida, who tend to lean toward the Vulcan side.
Yeah, yes, they do. I'm not aware of any term limits on the Vulcans. It seems like once you're one of those, you're.
You know what's great is there are no term limits on anybody in festival. You get to keep going as long as you can get there.
Exactly. In fact, good luck getting away.
Yes, and if you become a part of one festival, you're going to be adopted by the other. Certainly, that's true with Minneapolis and St. Paul. And we have Louis Rigg. Louis started out doing parades in Minneapolis for the Aquatennial. He's done parades for St. Paul. He does.
He's running the Rice Street Festival up in St. Paul right now.
He's done San Antonio's parades. I think he's worked on the Rose Bowl parades.
I believe you're right. Louis knows more about parade logistics and parade etiquette than anyone alive.
Or would anyone want?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm not trying to take his job.
No, it's a pretty thankless job.
Yeah.
But
Louis is a good example of the kind of guy who gets involved in this community and sticks around forever. Everybody loves that guy.
oh yeah, little Louis. Louis is about 6'8", I think, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I certainly feel that way when I'm standing next to
Yeah.
him.
It's nice being with someone you feel like could pick you up and carry you back home.
Yeah, I feel like I'm never under threat if Louis is by me. But he's a great guy, and does a lot of work. Currently working on Rice Street, just up the street here.
Yeah, Rice Street is a festival that's has many ties to the Winter Carnival.
Yeah, it's princesses come and spend the several weeks auditioning for an opportunity to be one of the Wind Princesses or the Queen.
As do past Aquatennial
Yes.
princesses and queens, and certainly people who have competed to be a princess or a queen of Aquatennial have come over later and competed with St. Paul.
Yep. Many of the East Side smaller communities, the East Side of the Metro smaller communities, send representatives every year to come and compete to be one of these princesses or queens.
Yep. In fact, one of my captains, Natolka
I can't say
Kamarchek
Natolka's last
Hartrus. It's easy, especially if you like Polish sausage. Kamarchek. Kamarchek's in northeast Minneapolis. That's her family. But she competed for the Queen of the Snows last year.
She did.
And this year she ran the whole process of taking care of all the young ladies who were competing to be queen and princesses this year.
Might have been a little taxing. I saw her yesterday, and she's in a cast. So
yes. Look, we got here's some folks waving on the sidewalk. Staying. The little one doesn't look real happy, but keeping her warm. Mom's doing a good job there.
it'll get exciting in a minute.
Well, once the parade starts, everybody forgets that it's cool.
Cold. Yep, absolutely.
Can you see anything down the street, Brent? I can't see.
I cannot. Although I hear stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like they might be getting closer.
I think I may see Winter Carnival photographer extraordinaire Mark Naraki out there.
Great. There's a great hat. Do you see that young lady's, what is that, some type of animal?
I do not.
You know, the kids have great hats.
Yeah.
If for nothing else, you should come downtown St. Paul to see the variety of hats. Well, here comes a police car, so that's a pretty good sign that the parade's getting to us.
Yeah, but I think they're on their way right now. I think we're about to get started.
Well, once again, just to remind you that in leading the parade, we'll have Preferred One, our 2013 Grande parade sponsor. And then you see those snowflakes jumping up and down in the air?
Yep.
Well, those are, I was looking at some of this. Each of those snowflakes weighs 10 pounds. So by the time these folks get here,
they've had a good workout.
They've had a good workout. They've had a good walk and carried that. So.
And if I'm not mistaken, our old friend Warren Johns will be carrying one of those.
That's right. Warren's an example of one of those volunteers.
Warren, you can't go to the Winter Carnival without running into Warren. He is here every year. Has been here for years and is much appreciated.
He's also there to help hand out trophies for the winners of the milk carton boat race, and he's gotten recognized as volunteer, a huge volunteer by the Aquatennial and by the Winter Carnival.
Great member of this Twin Cities community.
So here comes the banner to start the parade.
There we go. And I'm going to say they look a little chilly, but they're working through it.
Hey, all right. They announced the celebration.
And there's Warren. I see Warren in the back there.
We've got the St. Paul Police Band coming up now. They were formed by a trio of St. Paul police officers. They're celebrating their 90th year now. They've grown to 65 members. They include police officers and volunteers. They enjoy making music and representing the city of St. Paul and the St. Paul Police Department. So let's hear what they're doing.
Sounding very good today.
Coming up next, we have the 4th and 5th Veterans War group. This is the
VFW.
with us today. I think we've got the 4th District Commander Chris Price. We have the President, Marilyn Harder Brent, the Poppy Queen, Brianna Soon, and Poppy Princess, Brittany Willard.
Thank all of them for their service. Thanks for coming by today, guys.
Here's Mayor Chris Coleman. He's the 45th mayor of St. Paul. He's serving his 2nd term. He took office in January of '06.
And in 2012, he did the crashed ice course.
He did. In fact, he was in the paper sliding down the course. He's a graduate of Cretin High School and the University of Minnesota.
Up next, we have the St. Paul City Council members. They're riding on the St. Paul Fire Vehicle. We have Melvin Carter III of Ward 1, Dave Thune of Ward 2, Chris Tolbert of Ward 3, Russ Stark of Ward 4, Amy Brenman of Ward 5, Dan Bostrom of Ward 6, and Kathy Lantry of Ward 7. She's also serving currently as the council president. The City Council serves as the Board of Health and as the directors of the HRA and Public Library Agency. Members serve on the River Center Convention and Visitors Authority, Port Authority, Joint Property Tax Advisory Board, and Board of Water Commissioners.
The Ramsey County Sheriff's Office is established in 1849 is with us today. They are the Minnesota's first law enforcement agency. There's over 400 dedicated men and women that serve. They provide police services to 7 contract communities. They operate the pretrial detention facility, and they perform a host of other court services. Here they are.
Behind them, we have the Pioneer Press, who they're performing the service that the kids appreciate most. They're the first group to be tossing out candy here. The Pioneer Press and TwinCities.com are proud sponsors of the Pioneer Press Treasure Hunt. This community and Winter Carnival tradition challenges readers to solve daily clues to find the medallion, and they can win up to $10,000. The Pioneer Press traces its history to the Minnesota Pioneer, founded by James M. Goodhue, and the St. Paul Dispatch, launched in 1886. The two papers operated as separate morning and evening papers for many years. In '85, they merged into the Pioneer Press and Dispatch. That would be 1985. And in 1990, transitioned to a morning paper and dropped the Dispatch name.
So here's a popular a truck with the hot air balloon waving it up. And today we have our Grand Marshals. Eric Canet, he's a Minnesota native, graduated from Apple Valley High School. We also have Ken Barlow, who graduated from Plymouth State University. You can see these folks on Eyewitness News. And here's they'll be on regular. Let's see, when are they on? I guess every evening.
Yes.
So that's these are the Grand Marshals for today. Well, we're catching up here a little more. That Ken was nationally recognized for excellence in his field. He's a multiple Emmy Award winner for his work in Minnesota and Boston. He's also an adjunct professor.
Interesting. We have the moment we've been waiting for here. We have the 2013 Winter Carnival Royal Family coming up, and I can see leading them off right there. I can see a couple of the guard. We have King Boreas, the 77th, who started his reign last night. That's Ted Natus. Celebrates the spirit of 76, and he'll be handing out 77 very special awards to volunteers in our community.
Sitting next to him, we have Aurora, Queen of the Snows, Melissa Hoffbeck. The Prime Minister, Matt Wallace, is on this float. We've got Captain of the King's Guard, Brian Johnson. Brian was a guard in 2009 when we were with that family. Sergeant of the King's Guard, Christopher Vila, and King's Guards, Tom Kressner, Jeffrey DeCuster, and Chris Cruz.
In fact, I can see Jeff DeCuster and Chris Cruz leading them right now. Brave men.
So, Brent, why don't you go through the winds here? We've got
4 winds. We have Titan, who's the Prince of the North Wind. That's Mike Miranda this year. His princess is Jill Volkert. Euros, Prince of the East Wind, is in front of us. We have the North Wind, the South Wind. Nodos, Prince of the South Wind.
Yeah, but we've got the coming up here. We've got the senior royalty. With King Winters on here, we've got David Forrestal, Queen of the Northlands, Jackie Winter, Prime Minister Lou Michaels. Lou also served as a Commodore, a senior Commodore, Vice Commodore for the Aquatennial, Lady-in-Waiting Lee Shovel, Prince of the Four Winds, Randy Berger, Princess of the Four Winds, Patricia Richardson, representing seniors in the city in the Winter Carnival. They attend community festivals and parades they go to senior care facilities, senior centers, and special events throughout the year. They keep their quite an active agenda as they go around. So
just to finish up, we still had the East Wind. It was Mike Kineen this year. He's a good friend of mine. East Wind Princess was Shannon O'Brien. Zephyrus, Prince of the West Wind, is Ryan Rutzik, another friend of our family.
Yes.
And his West Wind Princess is Carrie Paytow. South Wind is Chris Stout, and South Wind Princess is Megan Erickson. We have a very limber Santa Claus-looking gentleman crossing in front of us now.
I think these might be some past.
I think they are. I recognize some of these people right here.
Some of the past senior royalty.
In fact, we have both sides of the river represented in this group.
We have a streetcar coming up here. I'm not sure what that group is yet. Can you tell?
I cannot. I cannot see what that is.
We still have the past senior royalty walking along. This is the Twin City Trolley. Oh, Treasure Island.
It's the senior. This is the Senior Royalty Alumni Association for the Winter Carnival.
So that's how they're traveling today.
The wise ones are inside.
That's a smart place to be. Right behind him now, we've got the Star Boreas folks.
We certainly do.
These are the past kings of the Winter Carnival. Joining them are the past Queen of Snows and past Prime Ministers.
I see the. And we have Madeline Doss coming to see us.
How are you? Good to see you.
2011.
So these folks continue to serve St. Paul.
Yep. Leading off right there is Steve Cortinas, the 2012 King Boreas, just finished his reign. There he is. I see Art Blakey. Gretchen Spear, his queen.
So it's appropriately we have some skaters with shovels cleaning up behind the Boreas, the past Boreas.
They're not young men.
Coming up next, we have the West Wind organization, and these are former West Winds and their families. They support the Winter Carnival in the city through all the fraternity group of the West Winds. They recruit and mentor West Winds, and most importantly, they are the protectors of the legends of Zephyrus and the custody of the West Wind.
You can always hear this group coming.
Yes, this is these folks have been known to set off the smoke detectors in coronations.
I don't believe they're allowed on airplanes.
They can be quite loud, especially when they're all together.
Yes, yes.
But coming up next, we've got the East Wind, Brent.
We have the former East Winds and their families. They support the city of St. Paul and Winter Carnival. Their job is also to recruit and mentor new East Winds, and they're the protector of the legend of Euros, who was granted by King Boreas control over the irresponsible East Wind. You've got to watch your wallet when you are around an East Wind princess.
If you're not familiar with the legends of the Winter Carnival, Boreas granted these powers to each of the winds to rule over his kingdom. And so the tradition's gone on. And if you've never seen an East Wind, it's quite a sight.
Yes, it is.
You're going to get a good look at their
understated.
Their costumes. I would have to say, if you are part of any festival, you better not be shy about dressing up. These folks would fit into New Orleans quite well.
Yeah. East Wind is represented this year by Mike Kineen, who I believe is the youngest East Wind ever.
Coming up fast are the Titans, the North Wind organization. These are the former North Wind princes and their families. With them are the Rice Street royalty. We talked a little earlier about that close relationship.
Yeah. In fact, we could see if Louis on this rig here.
So those folks proudly represent St. Paul North End. They're reputed to be the best wind group, by the way, Brent.
Yes, they're responsible for this 20-degree weather.
I'm pretty sure I know who reputes them to be the best. So their common exchanges: Hail Titan, Hail the North Wind, Hail Rice Street. So we welcome these folks today. On a little warmer note, coming up behind them, we have the South Winds.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel the cold here. I'd like them to step up a little bit.
Yeah. This is the former South Winds and their families. They support the city and the Winter Carnival throughout the year. Here's what they're known for.
I see Chuck Sheffer, the South Wind, who just handed over his crown up there.
So these folks protect the legend of Notos, who was presented the balmy but unstable South Wind by Boreas. They've been known to carry whips, and oh, that feels good.
Oh yeah, that's lovely. Keep that right here. Oh, and look who's following them up.
Yeah, now I know why it's gotten warm all of a sudden. We've got the 2013 Vulcans are coming.
We have Vulcanus Rex, the god of fire. He's the implacable enemy of Boreas, and has been known to taunt, by the great sword of Mars, I will temper the blusterings of Boreas with the heat and roar of my forces. Vulcanus and his crew are tireless in their bitter resistance to the festivities of Boreas. They are tireless.
And they've been victorious at the end of Winter Carnivals throughout time.
Yeah.
They're also very shy,
yeah.
As you can see. But they're great fun. They'll be around the city now for the next week. In fact, they're around.
You'll see them for the next year, folks, if you get out to any of these communities and see the parades. The Vulcans are always around.
Now we can't tell you who they are yet, though, because we don't find out who the Vulcan crew is until the end of the week. I think it's next Saturday, don't we?
That's what I understand. I believe you're right. You can probably count on it being somebody shy, someone who doesn't like the limelight.
Yeah.
That's why you wear red sports coats. Oh, I see a couple of behind them.
Yeah, this is a tough job.
Yeah, exactly. We got to hope that nothing breaks out here, as we have some former guard following the Vulcans. We have the Order of the Royal Guard. In fact, I see a few guys that just got done serving. I see Matt Camp right there, who just finished being a guard.
This is the alumni organization of the past St. Paul Winter Carnival Kings Guards.
That's Greg Apsey there.
They were formed just after World War II, when Boreas realized that his dominion was lacking because of a proper armor to defend against the Vulcanus Rex and his crew.
Oh, folks, that's Brad Semlak, guard extraordinaire driving. You should get off the road.
Now these folks, you'll hear them, they'll be known for Hail the Guard, Hail Boreas. And now coming up next is a great group.
We have the Royal Order of Klondike Kates come here. We're proud to welcome the 2013 Klondike Kate, Anita Elizabeth Mack. She had beauty, Klondike Kate, the legend of Klondike Kate is that she had beauty, charm, and a man who done her wrong. She was Kathleen Rockwell, and she made her way across the mountains of Dawson City and the gold fields around the Yukon and Klondike rivers, just as many did during the gold rush of 1898. Members of the Royal Order of Klondike Kates make over 100 appearances a year, and folks, if you can, make sure you get to at least one of those.
Here we've got the St. Paul Public Library bookmobile just went by. You might have seen that. They offer year-round library service to St. Paul neighborhoods. They make over 40 stops every 2 weeks. They visit multifamily housing communities as well as child care centers and many others. Coming into view now, we have the Memorial Blood Centers.
Minnesota's local independent blood centers provide life-saving products to local hospitals. They are connecting people and saving lives. Get out and donate blood, people.
One thing we are never in short supply of is the need for blood. So get out there and help. Coming up next, we have with us
K-Twin Radio? That's 96.3, the radio home of the Minnesota Twins baseball. Nothing like baseball on the radio. Kane and Company in the mornings, folks. They're into community sports and music. And I think we know these people who are coming right now.
Get a watch. So coming up behind them, just coming into view, we have the Minneapolis Aquatennial folks. We've got Dave Brecker, the 2013 Commodore, and Queen of the Lakes, Carly Smith.
Now, folks, we have rolling into view, we have the captains, Sonia Wheeler and Sherilyn Carlson.
They'll be coming up after the Commodore and the Queen here. We should be getting a look at them real quickly here.
And they are escorting the princesses Leah Crook and Anna Supernaut. And behind them we have the senior Commodore Bruce Humphreys escorting senior Queen Judy Harding and the senior Vice Commodore Terry Hoppenrath, who's here with senior Princess Roxanne Denusiuk.
Now we've got the North Star Newfoundland Club coming up. They were organized in 1987. These are big dogs, but they're very gentle, strong, working and water dogs. I think they're staying warm today. You have one pulling a wagon right here. You get an idea. The objective of this club is to preserve and protect the breed, and they're doing a great job. Look at the size of those things.
I can tell you right now, I think this is the favorite group for the kids to see so far. They're out there interacting with the kids in the crowd. They are beautiful dogs.
I think they could compete with the ponies behind us.
Yeah. Next, we have Regions Hospital. They're part of the Health Partners Family of Care, one of 4 Level 1 pediatric trauma centers for adults and children in Minnesota.
Yes,
You can check them out. You can check out wait times for Regions Hospital online at takemetoregions.com.
You got it. Yeah, take me to the hospital.
Coming up behind them now, you see the Hylex Gnomes. This is a marching tradition since the 1940s. The Gnomes are on loan from Westcott Station Antiques. They consider themselves the keep of the Gnomes. Now, Boy Scout Troop 13 provides the leg power for these, and they've been doing that since 1946. And we have a Newfoundland dog as part of the group. These are really antique costumes. If you take a close look at these,
These are fun.
Yeah, they can't see out of them apparently.
Next, we have 104.1 Jack FM. They are playing What We Want.
Now we have a perennial favorite, the St. Paul Clown Club. They've been bringing laughter and smiles to children of all ages since 1946. Their work with children, elderly, and veterans is the reason that they put on the grease paint and the baggy clothes and come out in the cold to join us. They're the oldest continuously active clown club in America. The original clowns were recruited from fire stations to provide merriment for the winter carnival. And they're favorites of the kids. You can see them all going over to the sides here, and the kids coming out to greet them. Again, folks, this is another example of volunteerism in St. Paul. These folks just do this as, and we see them in every parade.
Yeah, they love it. They do it, and everybody loves getting out there with them. Next, we have the Richfield Junior Ambassadors. This would be another community that puts on a great show. They send warm greetings from the annual 4th of July celebration. These young men and women will travel all over Minnesota. They dedicate hundreds of hours of volunteering with their community. Today we have Ambassadors Addie Carson and Mara Lean.
Now coming up, we have the Mall of America. They've got their ice capsule is now open all the way from the frozen plains of Bloomington, Minnesota. The Ice Castle princesses welcome you to come visit their palace in the north parking lot of the Mall of America. The princesses are dressed in their favorite Mall of America princess fashion from Glitz. So you make sure you visit the Ice Castle booth in Rice Park, and you can get a great coupon to go visit them at the Ice Castle at the Mall of America.
Here we have the International Visiting Royalty, and they're representing Aberdeen, South Dakota, Bradenton, Florida, La Crosse, Wisconsin, San Antonio, Texas, across the river in Minneapolis, Tallahassee, Florida, Macon, Georgia, Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Riverton, Wyoming.
Jack Sparrow's with us. Jack Sparrow of Twin Cities. He's available for birthday parties, boat cruises, and private themed events.
Now we have the Commemorative Air Force Minnesota Wing. This was founded in 1971. The Minnesota Wing is based in Fleming Field in South St. Paul. The wing offers history, flies in actual World War II planes, as well as operating a museum and restored military vehicles, several of which are seen here. The wing is joined by members of the World War II Historical Reenactment Society and staff of historic Fort Snelling and Dakota City Heritage Village to commemorate the men and women who fought in the Korean or Second World Wars.
Got some great old vehicles in today.
Yeah, this is a fun one here.
Yeah, it's fun to see these. Now that's Army green.
Yes, it is.
Here we have the U.S. Navy.
Oh, and
This is in deference to the Aquatennial.
I think so.
Coming up right behind us, you've got more of these cars and one of the original Jeeps. So they've restored quite a few vehicles.
Yeah. No, this is a great looking old Jeep. This is a lot of fun.
Oh, we've got someone carrying a flamethrower.
Would like him to come over here?
Yeah, hopefully warming things up. Coming up, there's some more modern equipment from the Army. Walking behind them, coming into view in red, those are the American Red Cross folks. They'd like to remind you again about the importance of giving blood. Make sure you give them a call at 1-800-RED-CROSS or go online at redcrossblood.org for appointment information. Got a
Once again, just to stress how important it is to give blood.
we've got a blood dog, I think.
Yeah.
Is that a bloodhound? It looks more like a
A
golden retriever.
yeah. Oh, and they're willing to bribe you with candy, folks.
Oh, they've got a couple dogs with them today.
Yeah, you're right.
Here, just to remind you again, here's the on the side of the van that you'll see go by here. You can catch their numbers. The
1-800-RED-CROSS.
make sure you go online, find out what they're doing. Here comes the right behind them. We've got a fun group coming up, folks. The Twin City Unicycle Club. This is the largest unicycle club in the country, Brent. And
The oldest unicycle club in Minnesota.
many of these, the best individual and pair riders in the world are part of this group, and they hold over 30 national titles and 15 world championships.
They're a family-oriented club, and they invite anyone interested in learning to ride to come join them.
You know, I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah, they look like they're having a good time. I just feel like I probably would not still be moving.
Although, you know, they're a group of all ages. This is great. Just look at these guys go. I think
And
it's a
all
little
heights.
cool today, too.
So you see the very tall unicycles coming next.
So this is the,
Wow.
pair riding and individual ride. Whoa, here comes a very
Yeah.
high one. I don't know how you get on that.
No, nor do I. Don't try that at home, folks. Join the club first.
Great balance.
Very impressive. Oh, and there's some more coming. Some tricksters are about to come into view here.
Oh, there they go. Look at that. So these are how they get their award. Someone's bike's down.
Yep.
Oh, there's another one down. So it's not a perfect sport.
Oh, no, I think that they're down on purpose. He's going to jump them.
Oh, he's going to jump. Oh, my
This
goodness.
is not good judgment.
Whoa.
Oh!
Well, I know which job I would want. I'm not sure anybody would want to be under it, but that would be my choice.
It's not surprising to me that those three appear to be in the younger side of the...
Yeah, well, look at this young guy. That's great. So we were misled that they were falling. They were actually just getting down to do tricks.
That was intentional. Coming up next, we have the U.S. Bank, who are downtown here, the U.S. Bank St. Paul Center. U.S. Bank, where all of us are serving you.
So U.S. Bank has been a supporter of Winter Carnival, a supporter of many, many public events in St. Paul. They're a great neighbor, and we thank them for being part of this event.
We have some princess-looking girls out front here handing stuff out. Possibly fairies, as they have wands.
A little lull here. Looks like I can hear some more coming.
Yeah, as things slow down, the number of people just warms up.
It's amazing how many people are out here now.
Yeah. Oh, and you can hear the music. You know who's coming next. Next we have Lacrosse Festival's Oktoberfest.
We talked a little bit about them earlier, so you're going to get a first-hand view of what this quiet group is like.
Yeah, we'll see. It's entirely possible there will be men in short pants here. We have the 2012-2013 Festmaster. That's Brad Sturm and his Frau, Lindstrom. Miss Lacrosse Oktoberfest, Tiana Vanderhey, and Mrs. Oktoberfest, Julie Bartles. And you can see there are men in short pants here, folks.
Now you see some pretty red legs.
Yes, you do. We have members of the Grenadier Corps walking alongside. Be sure to enjoy Oktoberfest in La Crosse, Wisconsin, September 27th through October 5th of 2013. We said this festival is a great time, and you can tell they're having a good time right now.
They've had a long relationship with St. Paul Winter Carnival, and everybody, we love going to their festival, and they love being a part of ours. But I'll tell you, shorts in this time of year are a little bit rough. Coming up right now, we've got the Ramsey County Sheriff's Fright Farm. This is a large-scale, professional quality haunted house. It's constructed and staffed by volunteers from the Sheriff's Department as well as members of the community. This year's Fright Farm will recreate the old Ramsey Poor Farm. Ooh. Yeah, that is frightening. All proceeds will benefit the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. This is really fun to do if you ever have a chance.
We have Leanne Chin coming, a Minnesota favorite since 1980. They're proud to introduce Asia Fit 6, new, healthy, delicious meals under 400 calories. Visit them today at one of their 47 locations.
Well, they brought a whole truck of food for us.
Yeah, that does look good.
You know, I'm not sure I like seeing the calories everywhere I go, though.
It's okay when it says 305.
Yeah, but
but you don't eat that?
Trouble is, it says 800 at the one I want. So maybe we'll all get thinner out of guilt.
That's what it'll be.
Okay, coming up here now, we have the Miss Minnesota International just coming into view. Afton Kielsa is your 2013 Miss Minnesota USA International.
Afton is an avid volunteer for animal rights and enjoys being an advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves. With her is Sherry Westland, who represents the Global Unit and International Pageant as the reigning Senior Miss Global United.
Here is the world's toughest rodeo in K102 coming up here. We've got the Minnesota country station It's My Country happening now, and K102 presents the world's toughest rodeo at the XL Energy Center February 1 and 2.
Their vehicle is courtesy of Larry Reed's Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge.
Their K102 is playing today's country welcomes national recording artist Dustin Lynch to Saturday's rodeo rather on February 2nd. That should be a lot of fun. That's great.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you remember when we took you to the rodeo.
I actually remember enjoying the rodeo quite a bit.
What I really remember is we got there like 2 hours early so you could get free hats.
Up next, we have Glenwood Waterama, one of our community festivals. The Glenwood Waterama invites you to their festival. It's held every year on the last weekend of July on the shores of beautiful Lake Minnetonka.
Well, they look like they've stayed warm.
Yeah, as I say, those girls are in very warm-looking coats.
Yeah, you know, we wore fur coats for the Winter Carnival Grande Parade in 2009. It was below zero. I was hot. You know, you see how a bear can hang around outside. This is quite a float. Okay, coming up next is another fun one. This is Captain Ken's 1923 Ahern's Fox Antique Fire Engine. It served in the St. Paul Fire Department from 1923 to 1954. It's appeared in Winter Carnival Parade since 1981. The Highland Central Capitals Squirt C team is marching with the fire engine today. They should be coming up right it looks like they're riding with them now.
Yeah, they're riding.
I think it was a little too long of a march. Here we have Cities 97. This is where the Twin Cities discovers new music. First hear artists like Ed Sheeran, Fun, Mumford and Sons and Jason Mars.
Mraz. Jason Mraz.
As you can see, I am not up on
You're a big fan.
Not up on the new music. Oh, this is fun one.
Yep, we have the 2013 Visiting Royalty. For over 25 years, ambassadors coming from surrounding communities in both Minnesota and Wisconsin have come to the St. Paul Winter Carnival. These young women come from as far as Osseo, Wisconsin, and Moose Lake, Minnesota, and as close as Hopkins, New Brighton, and Woodbury. Their weekend takes in all of the Winter Carnival has to offer. As you know, Dad, we get to know these young ladies very, very well when you work with Winter Carnival and the Minneapolis Aquatennial.
Yeah, they attend all the festivals. They participate in each of the communities. It's really a great leadership training program for these young women.
Yeah, they serve as excellent ambassadors for their communities.
They do an outstanding job. It's fun to watch them grow the year they're doing it, too.
Yep. No, you get to know them really well.
It's fun to watch some of the Winter Carnival
guards grow,
yeah, too, as they go through the year.
A lot of sports coats don't fit at that final.
There's a lot of food. I've also noticed that on some of our past Boreases, they're now wearing vest extenders. Vest extenders that were first developed for Harley-Davidson riders. So
it's tough. Everybody gives you food everywhere you go.
I know. You get to eat your way through festival. You have to be very, very, very careful.
That's why I used to walk in the parades. Try to burn off some of those calories.
Well, speaking of calories, did you see for the inauguration, they said how many calories were in the lunch? It was like 3,000 calories. I think we had a similar meal last night for the coronation. All right, now we've got, we got the Postal Service here. Looks like we're a little out of order.
Yep. There it is. The United States Postal Service delivers more mail to more addresses over a larger geographical area than any other postal system in the world. In 1775, Benjamin Franklin was appointed the first Postmaster General. In 1847, U.S. postage stamps were issued for the first time. In 1860, Pony Express began. And in 1918, scheduled airmail service began. In 1963, zip codes were inaugurated. Didn't know that. And in 1994, the Postal Service launched a public internet site.
You know, this is a service that Americans just take for granted.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable what they do.
Yeah.
You got the St. Paul bouncing team here. This is, they perform aerial easy for me to say, acrobatics at public events throughout the year. They date back to 1886. We talked about that earlier when the bouncing, it's the single oldest event associated with Winter Carnival. It was in the very first Winter Carnival.
Make sure to help the team out by counting along. 1, 2, up she goes.
Yeah, they're getting the crowd going now, trying to get them going. See, here they go. They're getting ready. Whoa, here we go. All right, 1, 2. There's like more than 2. Whoa. It's amazing. This has been around since 1886. I think they've been a part of every Winter Carnival. They also do this throughout the year, so this isn't the only place that they perform. You can see them at other events around the Twin Cities. It
does look like fun, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. You've got to be a trusting soul.
Oh, I don't want to be the one being bounced.
Yeah, it'd be more fun to bounce them. I
don't see any men being bounced.
No, you don't see too many men. I think weight's a factor. Oh my gosh. Wow. That was amazing. That was amazing. Good job.
Next to coming into view right now, we see the St. Paul Rugby Club, which is dedicated to playing quality rugby in St. Paul. New members are always welcome. It's important to be tough if you're going to be a member of this group.
No, I've been run over in rugby on the sidelines. Yeah. This is a very rough sport. Oh, here we got some more bouncers. in Great Britain, the saying for rugby is that rugby is a game for thugs played by gentlemen, and soccer is a game for gentlemen played by thugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got another. Looks like we've got some more heat coming up here.
Oh, and we have the St. Paul Park Heritage Days. Is that correct?
I'm not. What we're gonna have to see as they get a little closer here.
We have Arnold's hot air balloon rides.
Oh, that feels good.
It certainly does.
They're much more popular in the winter parades than in the summer parades.
Yeah.
It's amazing when you go up on one of these hot air balloons. You hear all this noise and then absolute silence.
Yeah. It does feel nice to have them here.
I wonder how come they get all grouped together. The temperature's gone up about 20 degrees.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everyone in those floats looks comfortable.
This is the Hot Air Affair in Hudson, Wisconsin. It's beautiful when they get all the balloons up over the river, so it's a fun thing to see.
Oh, here we have, this is the St. Paul Park Heritage Days royalty.
Yeah, they celebrate Heritage Days the third week in August. Some of their events are Carnival, a parade. They have mud volleyball, which is a lot of fun to watch and probably play. Horseshoe tournaments, motorcycle run, arts and crafts. Who have we got with us here, Brent?
We got Queen Ariana Beard, Princess Reagan Pelton, Junior Queen Michaela Flores, and Junior Princess Carly Johnson. Driving the car there, we have Jim Domeyer, who's the person I took over as Academic Captain from.
Very loud, but they're staying warm dancing.
The St. Paul Park Heritage Days girls are famous for their dancing.
It looks like we've got the Monique School of Dance coming up here right behind them.
We are Tour Minnesota Association.
Oh, all right. Boy, they are...
Yeah, this brings together partners in the tour and hospitality fields to promote Minnesota as a tour destination for groups and individuals.
Everybody's getting into the dancing now.
Yeah.
And playing.
Oh.
That's how you play a violin in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a great group. They all take you on tours of the caves, I believe, and the Minnesota Gangster Tour, the St. Paul Gangster Tour.
I have been in the caves tour. It is fun.
Yeah, that Gangster Tour is a ton of fun.
Yeah. In fact, that'll happen this week for the visiting dignitaries. They generally take them there to see the...
You'll be hosted by Babyface Nelson or Pretty Boy Floyd or John Dillinger.
You know, it's quite a story. Dillinger spent quite a bit of time in St. Paul in his day, and apparently had as long as they didn't commit any crimes in St. Paul, they were allowed to come and spend time and were protected by the police.
My understanding is that 1 year West St. Paul had more bank robberies than anywhere in the country because they would leave St. Paul, rob a bank, and come back.
So it was a limited protection.
Yeah. Here we have the Harding High School drum line. Harding High School is made up of approximately 30 percussionists, grades 9 through 12. This ensemble is a performing group and executes a minimum of 10 shows a year, including parades.
I get a look at the people still watching the parade. We've been out here now for how long? These folks have been out here for about an hour and a half.
Yeah, better than an hour.
Yep. Here comes Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo Bank is a living symbol of American spirit. The Wells Fargo Stagecoach. Got Mike Miller handling the ribbons. In 1897, Edward G. Wetzel opened our Wells Fargo office here, while in neighboring Minneapolis, Wells Fargo namesake William G. Fargo helped establish the Northwestern National Bank. I want to thank Wells Fargo's parents. Thanks goes to Robert Hoke, the Vice President of Wells Fargo Greater St. Paul District. Sitting with Robert and riding on top of the famed Wells Fargo stage is Diane Krisen, the Executive Director of the Minnesota Children's Museum, where they spark learning through play. can see everybody trying to keep warm here in the crowd.
Yep.
A little break in the action. People are staying, though.
Absolutely. The
In
kids
fact,
are getting more and more excited, I
We've
think.
gotten surrounded. I think we've gained a lot of people since we've been sitting here.
Yeah, definitely we have.
After this, people who are sitting around us are going to head into the St. Paul Hotel for some hot chocolate.
Looks like coming up next here we have Shenyun, the 2013 Minnesota Falun Dafa Association. Shenyun features classical Chinese dance. It's on a world tour with an all-new program and live orchestra. It's a chance to experience traditional Chinese culture. See Shenyun at the Orpheum Theater, February 22nd or 23rd.
It's quite a float. I bet you that's really something to see.
I bet that's very impressive.
This is a great opportunity in St. Paul. It's amazing the entertainment opportunities in St. Paul. Coming up here now, we've got Twin Cities News Talk, the home of Tom Ever and Bob Davis in the morning. The late debate with Jack and Ben at night. Twin Cities News Talk is at AM 1130 because you deserve the truth.
Coming up next, we have the Northeast Minneapolis Ambassador Program. This is a close one for us because heavily associated with Aquatennial as well as Winter Carnival. See Northeast, See the World is truly depicted on this float. It is a city on wheels with replicas of many of the churches and landmarks such as the Hennepin Avenue Bridge. The float was built by volunteers who spent thousands of hours building and finishing the float with great detail. It is stunning. Miss Northeast Ambassadors Elena and Shauna, Teen Ambassadors Dominic and Frankie, and Junior Ambassadors Miley, Nova, Emily, and Ayana. I was actually there to see these girls get their crowns.
Oh, it's a great float. They really put a lot of weight into it.
They sure did.
Work into it. Okay, coming up right behind them, we're going to see the Powder Puff Clown Club. The Powder Puff Clown Club is celebrating its 45th year of clowning. Their clowns attend community parades, along with entertaining at events, fundraisers, and benefits, and senior care centers. It's their task to share smiles and happiness and laughter with those around them. We've got some great costumes here. And the kids high-fiving the kids, staying warm.
Here are the smartest clowns. They're driving.
Yeah, there we go. So how many clowns are in that car? Not very many. It's another volunteer group, folks. They, if you see them at parties and doing things, most of the time they're just volunteering. They have a lot of fun. We certainly have seen them at a lot of parades as well.
Yeah, they're a very popular outfit out there. Up next, we have the St. Paul Yacht Club, the public marina located in the heart of the city on Harriet Island for 101 years. The float boat, called Wave, W-A-Y-V-E, named for the longest-serving member of the Yacht Club, is a classic Chris Craft roamer. Over 400 members who are active in the sport of powerboating on the beautiful Upper Mississippi, part of the St. Paul Yacht Club.
This is quite a place if you've ever been there. This floods just about every year.
Yeah.
It's almost built in the river. It's a lot of fun to go there. It's very nice, and you couldn't be closer to the river.
No.
In fact, at times you're in the river. This is a great boat.
Yeah, this is really impressive.
This is an old Chris Craft roamer. I wonder how many people that holds.
Looks like they're having a good time up there right now.
To get down there, the yacht club's on a pretty serious part of the river. You really see a lot of flow going through there.
Yes, you too.
Coming right up in now, we have the North Star Rotary Youth Exchange. You can see their banner and all the flags.
Yeah.
Yep, they celebrating Rotary Youth Exchange Winter Weekend. There's no place like our new place. Rotary Exchange students are from 26 countries. They are proudly displaying the flags from their many countries with us today. That's amazing. The Rotary does a great job. That's a great car. That looks familiar.
Yes, it does.
That's my car.
Here come the Woodbury ambassadors. Woodbury's Days is celebrated in the last weekend in August. They're represented by Queen Lexi, Princess Kennedy and Cassie, Little Miss Woodbury Savannah, Little Princess Leah and Minda, and Senior Queen Patty. Woodbury's fun is often said it's Senior Queen and King. And they are dancing, folks.
Float.
Yeah, it is. They're having a good time. Those girls really are a lot of fun.
We got some more hot air coming up here, which we can use. It's getting a little cooler.
Yeah.
This is the Team Remax hot air balloon. We see them at a lot of events, and they're a welcome group today.
Yes, they are.
Right behind here, we have the National American Miss Minnesota Queens. It's the largest pageant system in the world. These girls are the Minnesota Queens from each of their age divisions, and they are all leaders in their schools and communities.
It's a great program. Looks like we have the North Hudson Pepperfest royalty coming up here. The Little Village celebration with big Italian flavor. This one's always fun. Big spaghetti contest here. The Pepperfest began in 1954 as a way to raise funds to build North Hudson Elementary School and has turned into an annual event to assist community organizations throughout the St. Croix Valley. The three-day celebration honors the community's Italian heritage. It includes a carnival, parade, queen coronation, wide variety of food, and many contests. Join them August 16th through 18th for some hot fun this summer.
This is a festival that has a great spaghetti eating contest.
Yes, it does.
And also a lot of good food. It's a fun event, and we certainly recommend it.
Yeah. Point of advice, let your children do the spaghetti eating contest. It's less pleasant than it sounds to be a contestant.
Yeah, that's true. All right, coming up now, we have the 5-Star Dance Studio. This show troupe dance company is from Woodbury. You want to help us get in the mood to celebrate this year's Winter Carnival. They're staying warm dancing.
And they're looking
Feel
very
free
good.
to dance along. They tap dance their way down the parade route. This looks like this is the best way to do the parade.
A lot of exercise dancing the entire parade.
Exercise and just stay warm. They're tap dancing.
Oh. Looks like up next we have the K-Fan FM 100.3 radio station, a favorite. The Twin Cities sports leader is your home for Minnesota Vikings football, Minnesota Wild hockey, and Golden Gopher football. Listen now to them on iHeartRadio on your smartphone. Some of my favorites.
Oh, we've got some more hot air coming up here, leading up which will warm us up again, the Remax, another balloon. And behind them you can see the Osmond Shrine. This is a great big year for them. The Osmond Shrine is celebrating 90 years of the Shrine Circus in St. Paul. This is the longest running shrine circus in North America. The Osmond Shrine Circus is represented by its Legion of Honor, followed by the potentate John Bookman and his divan. Some of the units represented today we have the Drum and Bugle Corps here. They've been a tradition since 1921. The first time they started was 1960 with 9 drummers. You're going to see the sheiks, the provosts, the chanters, clowns, directors, staff, drum and bugle, the Osmond Cycles, the Mighty Mites, Zagalis, and the Alexander Shrine Club that's going to be in this group. So we'll be seeing them for a few minutes along here.
The potentate
proudly
is,
wearing their fezzes. We have the sheiks right here.
yeah, the potentate as well in the purple robe, cape. Not sure exactly what you call that.
Don't know. Shriners do a tremendous amount of volunteer work, and they've contributed a remarkable amount of money to the community. You know, they're
Very, very active.
They support 22 shrine hospitals for children, which provides specialized care to children with orthopedic conditions, burns, spinal cord injuries, and cleft palates. And all of those services are provided free of charge. And it amounts to just a remarkable amount of money.
Really great organization.
Coming up here, we have the Osman Cycle Corps. And we have the Osman, I think these are the Mighty Mites.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah, the Mighty Mites, they have two 1932 Ford street rods, four 1936 Ford Cabriolets, and three Micro Cup cars.
They're right in front of us.
Yeah, the Micro Cup cars are something like you see in a NASCAR event. The Osman Mighty Mites took first place in the showmanship category at the Midwest Shrine Association meeting in 2008. Got some more more Shriners coming.
The St. Paul Shrine Circus represented right in front of us.
For more information on the Shrine Circus, you can call 1-800-8-CIRCUS. It's April 4th through April 7th, 2013. It'll be at the State Fair Coliseum. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen a circus in a long time, I went to the circus last year and was amazed at how it's changed. It's a lot of fun and something it's great to take the kids to. Very, very changed if you haven't been there since you were a child.
They are hauling the children here, our next folk, more Shriners with some kids.
This is the Chanters.
I got two luck, guys. Just take it all. Or take it.
Did you get that? Come to the circus and come see Ollie.
Got some of the Shriner clowns here. This is the Alexandria
Alexandria Shriners, the four-wheelers.
Now, this is an interesting group. They took a calliope and four-wheelers. They started in the early 1930s and operated for a few years, and then they reactivated this group in the 1960s. They bought a 1904 calliope from a bankrupt circus, and they completely renovated it. What we just saw go by is a trailer. I think we're going to see.
Yeah, I think there's some coming now.
Yeah, because they added six go-karts, and today it's been replaced by these four-wheel drive vehicles, all-terrain vehicles, and they drive in formation, participate in many parades, and they're a lot of fun to watch. It looks like a lot of fun to do too.
It does. This is actually a remarkable level of coordination here.
If you're interested in joining, you can go online, look at the Osmonds. They're always looking for more riders. This is a big hit with the kids.
Yeah, they do love this. And you'll see these guys out if you get out to some of the other parades that happen through the summer in the state of Minnesota. You'll see Shriners at a lot of them. These guys are very active in these communities. Sometimes in the summer on their go-karts.
Yeah, the go-karts are great.
The go-karts those are the kids really love those.
Well, we'll see later too. I don't know if we've got the precision drill team, the cycle team with us today or not. We'll have after these folks move on. Looks like there's still some more Shriners coming afterwards.
Yeah, and these guys are well coordinated. You do not want to run into each other on a couple of ATVs.
I'm impressed how everybody stayed with us today. This is quite a group. You know, I wonder if it hit the 20 degrees they were talking about. So here comes the Alexandria Shriners vehicle.
Yep, the 1910 Circus
22
Calliope.
children's hospitals, 3 burn hospitals. Oh, so they did bring it with them. All right, we're going to get to see the Calliope I was talking about.
And it looks like we have the Minnesota State Fair coming up.
Speaking of fun things to do.
Yeah, here comes the State Fair. Those 2 giant gophers are Fairborn and Fairchild, the official mascots of the fair. Not sure which one we're looking at right now. Do you know?
You know, I'm not sure. I think they may be twins.
With them is Princess Kay of the Milky Way, Christine Rietzma. She's representing the Midwest Dairy Association.
The fair is something that we can all be proud of because it's the biggest 12-day fair in the whole North American continent.
Each year, over 1.5 million people visit the State Fair to see the exhibits, ride the carnival rides, and eat all the foods on a stick. There's so much to do at the State Fair. It's a world-class event showcase for agriculture, industry, technology, and entertainment. Not only that, but it's a world-class venue for viewing other Minnesotans.
And this year, it's going to be non-smoking.
Oh, it is.
They just made that announcement this week.
It's pleasant. Our State Fair runs for 12 days, ending on Labor Day. Come join everybody at the Minnesota State Fair at the Great Minnesota Get-Together.
Saw Minnehaha Academy go through. Minnehaha Academy is 100 years old. They've been providing high-quality Christian education for students pre-K through 12. Join Minnehaha Academy in celebrating their centennial. It's 100 years of winter fun. That's a great float.
Yeah, it looks like news anchor Liam
That
McQueen
must be
is on
special
that.
this year. I've never seen that one before. And great costumes they have.
Yeah. Liam McLean, class of 97, which makes her younger than me. Coming up, we have Robbinsdale Whiz Bang Days. Robbinsdale will be celebrating its 65th annual festival, Whiz Bang Days, which is celebrated the second weekend in July. Whiz Bang Days is a community-sponsored city celebration that honors the small-town, caring attitude that Robbinsdale residents have and Captain Billy Whiz Bang's publication that it was founded for. Robbinsdale is represented today by Miss Robbinsdale, Rebecca Larson, Princess Carissa Nelson, and Amanda Roberg, princesses, Junior Ambassadors Eva Funk and Zachary Kurtz.
There's no place like the Winter Carnival. We agree. It's another fun float.
Yes, it is. The community's put a lot of effort into these floats.
Well, folks, now we've got some heat coming here. This is the 2009 Vulcan crew. Now, this is the crew my year as Commodore, best crew ever. Vulcan is Rex, Joe Vogel. EB is James Bly, Flame, Fred Edstrom, Sparky, Steve Gurney, Sooty, Denny Pladson, Ferdy, Tim Shanley, and Ash, Joe Staffording. They were a fun group. We had a great year with them.
Up next, we have Charlie's Convenience Stores. Downtown St. Paul's finest convenience stores offering fast and friendly service Monday through Saturday. They are proud distributors of St. Paul's own Pearson Nut Rolls.
So here's the Prescott Days Royal Ambassadors. Welcome the 2012 Prescott Days Royal Ambassadors. Abigail Heath, Caitlin Ditzler, Kaylee Anderson, Emily Peterson, and Junior Ambassador Jaden Anderson. So you want to join the Prescott Days celebration in the first weekend after Labor Day in September. This is another fun festival, folks.
We do. We have the Harding High School Drumline coming our way. Harding High School Drumline is made up of approximately 30 percussionists aged 9 through 12. This ensemble is a performing group that executes a minimum of 10 shows a year, including parades.
It's got to be cold to just cymbals today.
Yeah, and they are here in sweatshirts. They are bringing it. They are tough.
Got a lot of scarves on. They're staying warm. Remember, folks, we're towards the end of the parade. These people have been standing probably outside for about two and a half hours now, getting ready for this parade and going through.
They did.
Here we have
the
Lions District 5M6, the Lions Club International, the largest service organization in the world. There's 1.35 million volunteer members in the 206 countries and geographical areas. They operate in many different ways, but they all share one core belief. Community is what we make it, we serve. Another great volunteer organization to have with us here today. That's a great float.
Yep. Coming up next, we have Buzzin' 1029 at 1029 on your dial. The all-new Buzzin'.
We're getting up towards the end here now. Looks like we've got candy being distributed. My guess is this is 1-800-GOT-JUNK coming up here. This is the world's greatest full-service junk removal company. They'll take just about anything from anywhere in the home or business that you have. All you have to do is point, and they'll take it away. And today they're giving out candy.
Yes, they are. That will always make you popular at a parade.
It is that. It is the best way to make friends. Looks like Darth Vader's driving their truck.
Yeah. Immediately behind them, it looks like we have Frog Box. Take the hassle out of moving by using Frog Box. Their boxes are dropped off at the home you are moving from and picked up at the home you are moving to. No more cardboard or tape.
All right, we have the Western Saddle Clubs Association. They represent the 5-state area, promoting horses as a fun family activity. The 2012-2013 royalty are with us today. We've got Queen Caitlin Lynch, Princess Rachel Lusk, Ms. Horsemanship Stephanie Bonderson, and Miss Games and Miss Congeniality Cassie Rose. Katie.
Coming up next, we have KDWB. Say hi to Lucas, weekdays from 1 to 6 p.m. on 101.3 KDWB. Check them out at kdwb.com and follow them on Facebook and Twitter.
So here's one of my
commercial-free Monday 101.3.
Here's one of my favorites, Brent. The Hopkins Raspberry Festival. We had one of our princesses from there, Abby Massey. The Hopkins Raspberry Festival will celebrate their 79th festival the third week in July this year. The 2012-2013 Hopkins Raspberry Festival Royal Family includes the junior royalty, Prince Bennett, Princess Divya, King Emmanuel, Queen Hannah ride on the merry-go-round. The senior ambassadors, Mary Jo and Dean, are on the park bench.
Right behind them, we had The Way to Happiness. The Way to Happiness Foundation presents a common sense and easy guide to better living, community, honesty, decency, and self-respect. Following up them is we have the St. Paul Regional Labor Federation. The St. Paul Regional Labor Federation unites more than 55,000 union members in the 4 counties of the East Metro area. Although the work that union members do has changed throughout the years, their commitment to working to improve our community is constant. Greater Twin Cities United Way and organized labor have partnered for over 60 years to make our community a better place to live.
So I'm going to guess this is the New Brighton Stockyard Days representative, since we have a horse coming up here.
The award-winning New Brighton float carries the Stockyard Days theme with fences, rails, saddles, and cowboy hats. I think you're probably right. The 2013 New Brighton Stockyard Days ambassadors are Miss New Brighton, Elizabeth Mark, Princess Annie Gallagher and Leanna Matt, Junior ambassadors Jenna Horak, Ava Frey, Angelica Severin, and Isabella Severin. They invite you to join them in New Brighton on August 4th through the 12th.
Looks like the Union folks got spread out a little bit here in the parade. We've got various carpenters, locals, various groups from the Federation. But here comes the New Brighton Stockyard Days.
Oh.
See, we went faster than we needed to. Well, folks, you have to understand the parade does not always happen in the order anticipated. So here we go. Now we've got New Brighton's Stockyard Days, and it's going to make more sense to you that that was an award-winning float.
Yes. Also, it has all the princesses and ambassadors that I announced a second ago, as opposed to just a horse.
Just to remind you again, this Stockyard Days are celebrated August 4th through the 12th. If you wonder why New Brighton celebrates the Stockyard Days, back years ago, they used the cattle would come into New Brighton and they would offload them and water and feed them for a couple of days before they put them back in and brought them into St. Paul to be slaughtered. The idea was to get the weight back up. I once suggested that sounded more like a suburb of Minneapolis than St. Paul, since it was to the benefit of the to get them fattened up.
Up next, we have the Peer Gynt Norwegian Dancers. The St. Paul Sons of Norway Children's Group, the Peer Gynt Dancers, have entertained throughout the U.S. from Anchorage to Orlando and throughout Minnesota, especially the Festival of Nations in St. Paul. In warmer weather, the dancers wear Verdiskarbunad, a traditional Norwegian outfit. Their float features Viking kick sleds, skis, folk dancing music, waving Norwegians, and American flags. All parts of Norwegian heritage are celebrated by St. Paul Sons of Norway kids.
And they have the easiest names to say.
Yeah, I apologize for what I did with that.
Oh, you did well. Just say it with confidence.
That's right. It's not often you see an H and a V next to each other.
Oh, you do in Minnesota, though. This is St. Louis Park Parktacular. This is the St. Louis Park ambassadors representing the Spectacular Festival, which will be held June 13th through the 16th. The ambassadors with us today are Taylor, Morgan, and Abigail, along with senior ambassadors Gary and Marjorie, and junior ambassadors Nicholas, Lucas, Mariah, Alyssa, and Alina. They're delighted to be a part of this parade and your community and St. Paul's celebrations. And folks, that is the end of the parade. Thank you for joining us for the St. Paul Winter Carnival Grande Parade, the coolest celebration on earth. I'm Tom Lasalle.
And I'm Brent Lasalle. Thank you very much.
Join us next year. And don't forget, next Saturday, the Twilight Parade. Thanks again.